Okay, so we've got a two-part warm-up here. So the first bit is just going to be focusing on opening the upper back and the thoracic spines. Right, so we're going to move on to the second part of the workout. So I do like to superset things if I can. Okay guys, so down at AB Fitness today. It's actually a gym that I've never been to before, but wanted to try somewhere new where we could bring Mark in to video a training session. So this video is just going to be super raw. I'm going to be running you through one of my strength workouts. So today we're hitting a vertical focused upper body session. Going to be focusing on standing barbell press for the shoulders, the delts, and wide grip pull-ups. And that's very much the way that my training is structured at the moment. Just 4 simple strength sessions per week where I focus on progressing on the main compounds alongside my running. This week's a little bit different just because I'm actually running a marathon on Sunday, so I've been taking it a little bit easier on my strength session. Still been pushing it on the upper body, but squat session early in the week went very light on that. So I'm going to begin by just running you over a warm-up, which is something that I obviously do every single session, and today it's focused on opening the upper back because I sit at a desk 7 days a week, you know, for between 5 to 6 hours a day, and I find that my posture suffers a lot. So I'm going to be working on opening up the upper back, thoracic spine, which is something that we work on a lot with all our clients, so we'll get into that now. Okay, so we've got a 2-part warm-up here. So the first bit is just going to be focusing on opening the upper back and the thoracic spine. So we've got 2 movements. We're going to do some rotation and some extension. This would be a great warm-up to do in between work blocks if you sat down. So literally just going to run through 2 movements here. So first one, quadruped thoracic rotation, 4-point stance, rotate towards the ceiling as far around as you can get. You usually go for 5 to 6 reps on each side, just trying to get a little bit further each time. And then from there, straight into extension over the foam roller. And in theory, if you've done that properly, you should be able to extend further over this now. So you're going to pick a point in the upper back just below your, well, just on your scapula, hands behind the head, and just lean over. And when you get into that position at the end here, just exhale and breathe out. And you're just going to do that 5 times. Then you just find a little bit of a different spot and then do it again. You will find that you've got, well, you'll probably find you've got some spots that are stiffer than others. So if that's the case, just focus on that more. Yeah, and I'll do 2 rounds of that. Well, 2 to 3 rounds, depending on how stiff you are, and then we'll move into the next bit. first proper strength movement that we've got today is some vertical pull strength, wide grip pull-ups. We're gonna be doing it here. Got a descending rep scheme, which means every set, the reps drop, and then we'll increase the weight. So I'll be doing these weighted. So we're actually doing 8, 6, 4, 2. So it's heavily focused on strength. This is programmed by my coach. So yes, I'm a coach, but obviously I always work with coaches myself. I find that I respond very well to accountability, and it's always good to learn off other people as well. So I'm gonna do a warm-up set of 10 reps, body weight, and then we'll get into the weighted stuff. I haven't done weighted pull-ups in a long time, so this will be a good opportunity to test some strength, and that's what I always say to our clients when they start a new block of training like I am now, is use the first week to establish your baseline numbers, record all the weights, and then when I go into my training next week in week 2, obviously the goal is to progressively overload, and in this case it would be to increase the weight each set. So I'm going to do a warm-up set now. Not feeling as strong on them as I have in the past. I've been focusing more on my heavy lat pull down over the last couple of months, but it'll be good to get back into these because I think, to be honest, they are probably the best exercise for building your lats if you want to do it in a functional way. You could argue that you get better tension on the lat by doing like a single arm pull down or something like that, but I'm all about the functional vibes. First working weighted set, 8 reps. Got a 7.5 kg dumbbell here, which isn't that heavy, but as I say, not going crazy in the first week. You want to be able to progressively overload every single week for the next 4 weeks, and I'm going to build up to a heavy set of 2, so I'll be hoping to hit like 25 to 30 kg, so we'll see where we go. Main thing that I'm focusing on with the pull-ups is making sure that I'm getting a really good stretch at the bottom of the rep through the lat, and then trying to pull my elbows into my pockets at the top. Those are the 2 things that I'm focusing on. Okay, final set of 2, built up in weight. Gonna give the 25 a go, so I'm just gonna go for 2 reps. I have done it in the past, we'll see where my strength's at now. Call that 2.5, so almost got the 3rd one there, but that'll be close to a PB, but haven't been training them recently. Not making excuses, so we'll try and build that up over the course of the training block. So with this rep range structure, we're working for exact reps. It's not a range, it's not like 8 to 10, 8 to 12, it's hitting that number of 2. So next week I would, based off how that went, probably give 27.5 a go for 2. So yeah, that's the strength test done for that. I think personally it's my favorite shoulder builder. You could argue that you probably get better tension and maybe a better mind muscle connection on a seated dumbbell shoulder press or a shoulder press machine, but again, I like to do movements that kind of train the whole body to some extent and get the core involved. And I remember when I put this in my program when I was about 16, my shoulders blew up, so I've kept it in ever since. So we're still working on strength here, but we're going to be focusing on an 8 to 10 rep range, so a little bit higher than the weighted pull-up. That was the main strength movement for today, and then this is more of a secondary one just to get some volume in the delts. So I'm going to do a warm-up set with a bar, and then for 3 sets of 8 to 10 I'll probably be working with about 45, 50 kg, but we'll just build up because again I haven't been doing this, so this is a new movement for me over the last few months anyway. Okay, so first working set, main cues at the overhead press, hands just outside shoulder width. So put my thumbs on the knurling and then wrap the hands around there. That's a good width for me. Some people like to go a bit wider or a bit narrower. And then the main thing when you're pressing overhead with any movement is make sure that you actually squeeze your glutes and engage those, because that's going to protect your lower back, and squeeze your abs as well. And then it's just about pressing overhead. You see a lot of people when they do the overhead press, they'll go forward and then up. It's just not efficient whatsoever. So you want to actually tuck your chin in and be able to press completely vertically over your head and push your head through a little bit. So you might want to actually video this from the side, and I'll show you what I mean. Squeeze your glutes, tuck your tailbone under, then press overhead. Right, so we're going to move on to the second part of the workout. So I do like to superset things if I can, just to save time, keeps the intensity high as well. So I'm going to do a close grip, reverse, hold down on one of these mag grips, and then I'm going to superset that with a Z press, which is a vertical press variation. It's really good for your posture and training your core as well. So I'm just going to do a warm-up set on this and then get into it. See, I was struggling there to get full extension over the head. It's a really challenging movement. It's also a really good screening test to see how good someone's overhead mobility and stability is. So, you know, it's easy to press when you're on a bench, when you're actually back a little bit. There's not many people that can sit in that position, tuck the tailbone under, keep the core engaged, and press overhead. So something I'm always trying to work on, really helps with your posture. Right, so that's the tune. Main work out the way. Heavy pull, heavy press, push-pull superset. And it wouldn't be an upper body training session without finishing with some arms. So literally just doing some bicep curls, some tricep extensions, and I'm gonna finish with some core. I trained arms so much when I was younger that they're kind of like a genetic strong point for me. So I don't do too much direct bicep and tricep training, but I'll probably just hit them once a week for like 2 or 3 sets. So we're just gonna do hammer curls and tricep push downs now. So when I train biceps, personally, if I go too heavy, I feel like I lose the connection in the bicep, whereas tricep, if I can get it in that fixed position, I feel like I can press quite heavy. So I do like to train those a little bit heavier than biceps. You've got to get yourself in that fixed position, lean forward a little bit, and then just press down. It's quite heavy. Just always focusing on controlling that eccentric, which is the weight up. So 1, 2, 3. Press. Don't rest long at all on these sets for arms, like literally maximum 45 to 60 seconds. Like the main compounds in my program, very meticulous with the rep ranges, always trying to progressively overload, but with these I just aim to lift heavy and go close to failure. So like RP9, like 1 rep away from failure. Just get a good pump really. So that's the strength training session wrapped up. Probably take about an hour and 5 minutes, including the warm-up. Spend like 10-15 minutes on the warm-up. Super important when you do a lot of training like I do, but I honestly don't think you should be in the gym for more than an hour. If you are, then I would question, are you doing too much volume or are you resting too long between sets? Like all our client programming, maximum an hour and 10 in the gym, including warm-ups. So I do actually have a little bit of core work to do, but I'm gonna do that later on today in my apartment gym. And then tomorrow is a very light leg day. It would usually be deadlifts and hamstrings. So I'm gonna do that session, just go very light, only work to like an RP 5 or 6, and then rest on Saturday, carb load. Then I've got the marathon Sunday, so I'll update you how I get on in the next video. Hope I finish it.